roars a well-slacked fire. I wind the gramophone, the pleasant joys of brotherhood I savor on my own. An instrument to play upon, books, records on the shelf, and albums crammed with photographs I carry by myself. I drink to passion, drink to peace, the silent telephone, the pleasant joys of brotherhood I savor on my own. Thank you. I used to be the fat old man who held his liquor well. He never got no words right, nor stayed in tune for long. But the little stars of Beulah, it was his song. As much as drink, he loved to hear that song. He would always hear the whole song and clap you at the close, then sit a while in silence with his finger on his nose, before he cracked the same joke that he wisecracked every night. That's great, but something's missing here tonight. Maybe 2 more scotch would set it right. There are men who hate their firesides, who stay out drinking beer, who talk too much and ask for songs they never wait to hear. But there's one man I remember from all that dreary throng. He loved to sing, he loved to hear old songs. As much as drink, he loved to hear old songs. I was young once and ambitious, and I had no time to spare for men who wouldn't change the world, but like things as they were. Well, I'm not so hard to please now, I've been around too long, but I'm glad of men who like a well-sung song. And women, as much as drink, I like a well-sung song. And stout and stately, he ordered Guinness and whiskey that I poured out and carried to him to his shrine in the dark bar, where he waited benign, smiling, an Ulster Buddha. He was well turned out always. His plain clothes were impeccable, but words failed him. He sat like the frog in the story at the bottom of a well. I add these verses from my mother, who urged me to say how David, an old-age pensioner, paid his way in the prosperous company of George, the grocer, and my humorous father. How they teased him, and how David was a better man than either. If years later the grown waiter's luck is such that beautiful women like ripe fruit at the first touch come away in his hand, alas, potency is no longer there, and the lack in his loins is reproach almost too poignant to bear. He knows, artful and tender, that love is a game. He believes when girls say, it doesn't matter, darling, but all the same. It's style we remember people for and the crack. Cleopatra and Antony and David Mackerel with the wall at his back. A great character. Barflies felt privileged to stop at his table and hear his few words, profoundly slow and memorable. And yet when Dionysus touched him, he tried to sing, erect, wordless, tuneless, self-conducting. And the drunk youngsters intuited Black Velvet Band or whatever, applauding, reaching for his hand. David seemed to be waiting for the point of a difficult joke, innocent, expressionless, and then his smile broke. Dear old friend, with all your limitations to sing, your wee bird could no more, and mine is faltering, was always faltering. Thank you. That young lady. But how can I curb my pleasure, be suddenly stealthy with life, given I'm still strong and healthy? The stale air gathered in each good lung resonates on the vocal cord. Anna's fright is part of a Puritan fashion that I must fight with words and music. These good songs will be sung. We sing the rat under the roses, and my son's joke is to search the bushes. I smile and smoke. Called True Love. Maybe a little question, 24 lines. I was brought up as a Presbyterian, only lost my faith at the age of 16. But somehow the resonance and the moral earnestness of listening to sermons has stayed with me. True love. Beauty of tenderness, courage of laughter as the gospel or saith. True love is proven on the morning after. Bad breath to bad breath. So I'm going to end a fairly long one, for which I have achieved a certain amount of notoriety. And my wife and I were planning permission for this sports school of ours in County Antrim. And in the middle of the interview with the Larne Borough Council, one of the councillors brought this book out of his a brown paper bag and said, if this is education, I don't like it. Seems to me pure dirt. So what my defence was that it's an account of two happily married people triumphing over the filth of a Northern Ireland railway carriage by making love in the toilet. It's called The Rainbow. So this oldish fella travelling with a nice young wife from Belfast to Portrush. Riding forward in love, youth facing age, they reclined in the dirty Ulster railway carriage. The wide screen window panoramically displayed North Antrim towards the hills and the sea, like an actress doing her fabulous routine, a lovely, fascinating old has-been. The foreground whipped past hedges, embankments, cows and sloping fields, a prosperous farmhouse. Towns, Antrim, Ballymena, angled streets, rivers, a round tower, scenes of the feats performed over 40 years from youth to age. They drank her welcome to his heritage of grey, grey-green wet earth and shapes of stone. Who weds the landscape will not die alone. This was his railway, Derry to Belfast. The new young wife beside him felt his past travelling with them, flying and in pursuit. Adventuring again, he felt her foot toying with his foot, till his eye caught her eye as empty cans of Fanta rattled by on the filthy floor. They left their drab seats singly and met in the cramped toilet, untowseled, tingly with anticipation. He watched her hoist herself with casual elegance up on a handy shelf made by the wash basin and the window ledge. Her right leg, green silk clad, became a wedge closing the ruined door. In her mink coat, she was a mountaineer who found a route to the fabulous summit. Her skirt above her thighs, her face dipping towards him, while his eyes feasted on the curly, tangled pubic hair moist on her steaming nether lips. And there his penis, stiff and rosy, was now aimed.
Hello.
She had lost her panties, so her cunt was framed by the frilly corset ridge and cute suspenders, as though to advertise a home for members. A summer palace standing without sentry. He rose up on his toes for easier entry between those white thighs and their silken holes to the softest, spongiest welcome a man knows. She groaned and sighed and whispered something rude, the pure, essential sign of gratitude. He unbuttoned the blouse under her flowing coat to free her breasts, her shoulders, and her throat, which must be kissed. The swaying of the train helped him to come as she came once again. They reached down for the magnum of champagne cooled in the toilet, wrapped in cellophane. They were back in their seats by Ballymoney. His life had seemed to stop there when his second wife died, but now drunk with her hilarious success, God, show us what you think of us, he shouted, and saw out of this soaking arable countryside rise up the parable, a pure electric rainbow in the fog, bright colours like a painter's catalogue, orange, magenta, red, indigo, violet, towering and curving, huge, immaculate, unbent, unblurred, from weightless foot to foot, a flowering arch from what miraculous loot. Light-hearted, sated, still, these lovers knew a gate had opened, and they both passed through. Thank you.
James Simmons, an example to us all, I think. We'll have some more music now, and then Lord Chase will be reading in about 15 minutes' time. Thank you very much.
Elegant. And the farmer with a finger stepping the crest of this hill field has slanted his furrows in perfect, symmetrical, subtle curve, taking his time to do what was clearly wanted. Is my half smile what all of this deserves? Now they are putting Orioles on cattle, setting them near the skyline with winter sun behind. A world of hymn subjects to one brought up on hymns, and the painting by Samuel Palmer engraved on his mind. We are as cattle, from earth we come fiercely, to earth return calmer. No mean feat. Carriages rattle and bump us along, calm flight first. My helper in these last 10 years, Brother Patrick Simmons, born in America but of Irish extraction, and a fine folk. I like my depart, ever bloom of that valley shall fade from my heart, ever bloom of that valley shall fade from my